Well, a Scarborough homeowner is speaking out after he says that he confronted an intruder in his home. This comes as Toronto police report a nearly 50% spike in residential robberies so far this year. CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan joins us live with more on this disturbing trend. Okay, so Steve, let's start off with this latest incident.
So it happened in the first week of June in a Scarborough neighborhood. A suspect walked past the homeowner, a woman that was doing her gardening, walked right into the house. Her husband was woken from his sleep as a result of the noise, and he met face to face with this intruder who was wearing a surgical mask, and the suspect stole the wallet of the homeowner and then fled. So this is a break and enter and a theft. It's all the same when it comes to a home invasion, break and enter. The difference is the violence that is used. So the offense is break and enter, and the aggravating factor upon conviction, if that's the case, would be the violence that was used to get into the home.
Okay, so we're talking about a nearly, 50% spike in residential robberies so far this year. You know, those numbers are quite telling that anyone could become a victim. What are you supposed to do in these situations?
In this particular case, it's believed that the suspect entered the house through an unlocked door. The homeowners are in their 70s, retired couple in their 70s. Home is supposed to be your sanctuary. And when somebody violates that and gets into your private areas, it really is a violation of your sense of security. So the police are advising that you keep your doors locked. This man said that they typically kept their door open for the cool breeze to come into the house. Sadly, those days are gone. The best advice from the police is to make sure that your doors are secured at all times, because you can't trust anybody walking past your house these days.
And then, Steve, you know, revisiting a question that we ask so many times, how are you supposed to protect your home?
Exactly. And the best you can do is make sure that your home is as secure as it can be. And I always say this, and the easy answer, people will ask multiple times, what is the best way to protect your home? A dog. The bark of a dog will most always scare away a would-be intruder. Surveillance cameras are great, but they help the investigators after the deed is done. Most people don't care about surveillance cameras when they're breaking into a house. Keep your doors locked. If you can get a dog, because that bark on the other end of that door certainly will deter somebody from breaking in.
Yeah, Steve, I was just going to ask you about that. You know, a lot of people have these doorbell cameras, you know, maybe some other smaller cameras throughout their house for security. You say...
They work with investigators, and they may deter some people from breaking in, and you don't know that most times, because if you see there's a surveillance camera, you might just move on to the next house. So that could indirectly deter somebody from breaking in, but not all the time. We've seen many times people breaking into a home or doing any violent criminal offense. It's all captured on video, and they could care less that it's captured on video. It does help the investigators, but it's not exactly 100% soundproof when it comes to protecting your own home.
And, you know, when you're in these situations, you are faced with an intruder. You call 911. What do you do until police get there?
That's a great question. That's a very good question. What do you do? If somebody's in your home and you want them out, you do what you deem to be the most important thing to do to keep yourself safe, but your response has to be proportionate to the threat that you're being met with. I know a lot of people have difficulty with that, because I break into your home, you should be able to do whatever it is you want to do to get me out. But that's not the case. There has to be some sort of threat for that to occur. That's a great question. And I think for the most part, keeping your doors locked, if you can, have a little doggo at the other end of that door barking, surveillance cameras, all that helps. But at the end of the day, if somebody wants to get into your home, they're going to do it.
And what's going on? Let's go back to this case in Scarborough. What's going on now with this?
Well, they're looking at video surveillance. We did show some surveillance that was taken from the front of that house, and there appears to be somebody walking by. We're showing it right now, and there is somebody walking by. They're running now and getting into a vehicle. Now, the police would not comment whether or not that was a suspect, but at least of all, that person would be a person of interest. That person needs to be identified and either connected to this case or completely excluded from the case.
Yeah, but I mean, see, we were just looking at the same video. Is that enough for police to make an identity, like get a positive identity, to put that out there for people to say, oh yeah, I know who that is?
That's just the beginning. So yes, the video could help identify who that person is, but then you need to do other police work as well to get some further evidence, which the police can do. There's all kinds of different investigative techniques, but that person at least is a person of interest, if not a suspect.
Okay, so this 50% spike in home invasions, home robberies, Is this just cyclical? I mean, look, let's go back to your many years in policing. Mm-hmm. Is this cyclical? Like, will we see this go down again and then come back up? Or is this really a trend that people need to be worried about?
I think it's a trend that people need to be worried about until such time that the laws are enforced, punishments are given to be a deterrent to others that may commit these offenses. We're going to see the same thing. And when it comes to bail as well, if people are out on home invasions or breaking in or charges, some of them will do it again. Recidivism is huge when you talk to all the police services throughout the GTA. So it is something, it's a trend, and it's something that I think is going to continue until such time that the law gets, the hammer gets dropped on some of these people.
What about the element of neighborhood watch? I mean, we just saw that video right there of, someone who could be a person of interest. Look, a lot of people are working long hours. Mm-hmm. Some people working multiple jobs. If you have those people in the neighborhood who can keep an eye out, does that help?
Well, it does, because there's extra eyes, and the police always say, see something, say something. That could get the police there, but most times, by the time you see what's going on and you report it, the suspects are already gone. So it's a tough situation for all the neighborhoods and for investigators as well. But that video is good enough. If that person is involved, the police will identify who that is.
All right, joining us live in studio, CP24's crime analyst, Steve Ryan. Thanks, Steve.
You got it.